Hi, welcome back to Geek TV, powered by Lanka Comic Con. Today, we are going to focus on a segment of cosplay, and we have Aishwarya Tennekoon here with us. He's here to talk about some of his amazing cosplay props. Before we get started, I must say I have one funny story to tell about Aishwarya and about how we first met. Because at the first Comic Con, I think, which was 2015.
Yeah.
So we put out a call on our Geek page saying, hey, if you guys have any fun stuff that you want to exhibit or display, please let us know. And I got this email from this lady saying, oh, by the way, you know, my son really likes to design stuff and he's very talented. So can he bring, he has done this design of a castle, can he bring it to show at Comic Con? So I was like, okay. And then before I typed, like, yeah, sure, okay. Suddenly I thought, oh my God, like, what if this is like some of those like proud moms who have Ratarang Putar and this guy is 12 and I don't know what his stuff is actually like, right? It could be like some child's Lego model or something like that being bought. So then I was like, okay, it's like, thank you so much for reaching out to us. We'd love to exhibit your son's stuff. Could you send us a picture of what he would like to exhibit? Because I thought that if it's really bad, I'll have to think of some excuse not to have it there, right? And then she sends me this picture and I'm like, wait a minute, what the hell is that? And it was this beautiful, huge scale model of Barad-dûr, right? It was a beautiful one. And I was like, okay, we definitely want to like exhibit this. So I'm like, yes, please ask your son to like bring his. So that was my first introduction to you. I'm sorry, I thought you were like some 12-year-old child who had done Lego models, right? So, but tell us, but you have been doing models from the time you were little, right?
Yeah, so I've been doing this since I was like 7-8 years old.
Okay, because I remember you had posted once on your Facebook, and we'll show you the shots a little while in a few minutes.
Yeah.
You'd done like the Age of Empires.
Yeah.
Like I remember because I loved playing that game when I was like in college. But you'd done all the scale models, right?
Yeah.
And the stables and the barracks
the
and stuff.
Ranges, everything.
So what got you started in doing this?
Actually, I can't exactly remember why I started it, but as long as I remember, since I was 7-8 years old, I was into crafting.
Okay.
So I crafted like small dioramas, buildings and little animals using cardboards, toothpicks, regifoam and such materials like recyclable materials. So and also I'm a huge movie fan.
Okay.
And I'm into cartoons, movies, TV series. So actually I think I got inspired by them.
Okay. Any particular movies that you like?
I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan.
Yes,
Tolkien
you can
fan
see.
actually. Yeah. So these are some of the props that I made for my clients for cosplay.
So you started at 7 or 8, then like I think you were 12 or something when you did those Age of Empires things that you had posted, 11 or 12. What were those made of, by the way?
The Age of Empires one?
Yeah.
Just cardboards, toothpicks and stuff.
It was amazing. Did not look like they were made out of cardboard. And then you graduate, like this stuff is not made of cardboard, right?
No, this is completely made out of, the blade is made out of wood and the handle part is made out of a rubber material called EVA-4.
Okay, and why don't you hold this up and tell us a little about this? It's amazing. Look at this.
So this one I made for a friend of mine. She wanted to do a Wonder Woman cosplay. So that's when I started first making this prop. So what I first did was I first had to find about the perfect measurements and the materials that I'll be using to make this. So to that I Google search about the measurements, and I also downloaded as much as photographs and sketches that I can find, because before you're making something you have to have a perfect idea of the detailing, and if there are patterns like this you have to have a proper idea of the patterns.
So these patterns are also all the etchings are accurate?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So then once I get the photographs, I scaled the photos into the exact size, the original size of the sword that I'm going to make, and then I printed it out, make myself a template.
Okay.
And then I kept it on the wood and cut it out using a jigsaw and then grinded it, and so basically that's how I made the prop.
Okay.
And this handle is made out of a
EVA
material
foam.
called EVA foam. It's basically the material is used to make slippers. So
Oh,
you
okay.
can, yeah.
Oh yeah, it feels a little bit like.
Yeah. So you can find this material locally, especially at PETA. That's the best place where you can find the material for the cheapest price. So I have used 8mm thick EVA foam sheet to make this handle part. So I have cut it out of using a paper cutter and grind it using a Dremel or a die grinder.
Yeah.
And also using the die grinder, I have put these small, the dots and the textures.
Yes.
Everything.
It's really nice texture on that.
Yeah.
Okay. And what about the shield? That's Wonder Woman's shield, right?
Yeah, that's the shield. This is completely made out of EVA foam, the same material which I used to make the handle. And then again,
it's awesome because it looks like polished wood or something like that.
Yeah, but actually it's the same material because I have used I have used different thicknesses, because in EVA foam you can buy different thicknesses like 8mm, 2mm, 4mm like that. So here I have used 8mm sheet and the 1.5mm sheet. And the reason why it looks so metallic is actually it's because of the paint job that I have done.
Okay.
Because paint job is one of the most important part when it comes to making props.
Finishing, the finish of it.
Yeah, the finish of it. Because even though you messed up making the prop, the craftsman part, you can still make it look dope.
You can hide all your sins with the paint job. Okay, but this is really cool. Like, I can wear this, and it's quite badass. This is lovely. But okay, so you were talking about like Dremel tools and like jigsaws and all this stuff that you use to make this stuff.
Yeah.
How did you learn to use all those things? Because I would think cutting wood with a jigsaw sounds a bit dangerous.
Yeah.
You could easily cut yourself on that as well.
Definitely, yeah.
So where did you learn how to use all this stuff?
Actually, until I turned like 16, 17 years old, I didn't use any jigsaw, any of those equipments.
Yeah.
I used to use normal scissors and stuff. Because I first started making these wooden and metal props once I turned like 16, 17 years old.
Okay.
But
so before that it was all like cardboard and stuff like that.
cardboard, foams and those waste materials.
Okay.
But then again, I learned how to use them by just going through trial and errors.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. YouTube tutorials?
Yeah, not much.
Maybe not? Oh
yeah,
my
not
God,
much.
Okay. So you just like got a jigsaw and goes, let's see how this goes. Okay. Okay.
Because my my father has used those machines before.
Okay. So he helps you as well. Okay, nice. So, okay, and with that we mentioned your father. What does your family feel about, like, were they supportive from the time you were little, or what do they feel about you doing this stuff?
Yeah, they're very supportive actually.
Okay.
Because actually now when it comes to making cosplay costumes, all the sewing parts are done by my mother actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm the one who handles the armor parts and everything, but I can sew. So she's the one who taking care of all those parts. And my father, he helps me with making all the circuit parts and everything. If you want to add lights and stuff to the costume, so he's the one who's taking care of the circuit parts.
Oh, nice. So this is like a really nice family hobby, that they support your hobby and they help you in it. That's really cool. Okay, if people want to start learning how to do their own cosplays and stuff like that, their own cosplay, like manufacturing weapons and things, where would you suggest they start? Because like not everyone can pick up a jigsaw and or a Dremel tool and keep going. How do they learn how to make this stuff? Yeah,
actually the first thing is you have to get rid of the negative thoughts, because some people think that they don't have wealth and they don't have the equipments and the machineries. So actually they just have to start making it first, right? Then the waste will automatically come to you.
Okay.
So for example, like if you want to cut something out like this out of wood, if you don't have a jigsaw, so what I recommend is just draw it on draw the template on a piece of wood and just take it to a nearest timber workshop and then ask them to just cut it out for you.
Okay, so you go and ask them to do that, and you can do all this carving without actually needing like a sophisticated tool.
Now here
right?
I have used the Dremel because now since I'm a prop maker, so I have to save time. So that's why I'm using all the machineries, but you don't have to have all those Dremel tools and everything. So using those normal wood carving tools, the old school tools that we use manually,
like chisels and stuff like that,
the manual tools, you can simply do the carvings.
Okay. And how, so safety with a jigsaw is one thing, but now you said this was done with EVA foam, right?
Yeah.
The grip?
Yeah.
How tough is it, or how easy is it to work with EVA foam?
EVA
Like how did you manage to get like the roundy?
Yeah.
Like, bits
So
of
when using EVA foam, actually EVA foam comes in sheets. So
Yeah.
there are 6x4 sheets normally, and normally the
6x4 like feet?
yeah
Wow,
feet, yeah,
that's huge.
very
Okay.
huge sheets.
Okay.
Normally the 2 mm thick sheet costs around $650. So
Okay, so not very
yeah,
expensive.
not very expensive. So you can buy one of those from PETA, and then again you have to have this template of the handle or whatever the thing you are going to make, and cut it out of the EVA foam. And if you want to like bend the EVA foam like what I have done in
Yeah.
making the shield, then you can use the heat gun.
Oh, okay.
So the heat gun is basically used to heat the foam, because if you want to bend the foam, you have to first heat it.
And make it a little more flexible.
Yeah.
Okay.
So but then again, you don't have to have a heat gun, but sometimes you can use a candle also.
What?
Yeah, but if the thickness is high,
it- yeah,
it
yeah.
might not work.
Yeah.
But for the 2 mm thick
Like
foam,
thin
you can
ones,
use a
do
candle.
that. Okay.
So there are alternative methods that you can use. Actually, you don't have to have very expensive tools and all.
Where can people learn how to make this stuff? Like, are there any like tutorials you would recommend, or anywhere? Like, I know nothing about manufacture, so if I wanted to like start making my own stuff tomorrow, like, where could I go to learn how to do that?
Actually, I think YouTube is a good source for them, because there are so many tutorial videos for crafting and how to do the paint jobs and everything. So
Okay.
simply that's the best source that I can recommend. And also there are some different sites as well, because now I used to follow some videos and tutorials from this Stan Winston School of Character Arts.
Okay, Stan
Yeah.
Winston School of Character Arts. So
Yeah.
they have like DIY
very
kind of
good,
like
very good videos.
demonstration.
Yeah,
Okay, nice.
So,
So,
but some-
there you go, Stan Winston School of Arts, good place to start.
yeah.
Okay.
So by following those tutorials, then again you can sometimes come up with your own ideas. When you are watching the tutorials,
Yeah.
it gives you different ideas. So you don't have to use the same methods, but you might be able to use different materials and go for
and
alternative
usually
methods.
some of these, like if they're really famous movie props, something like
Yeah.
that, you get the templates online actually.
Yeah,
You don't
if
even
the-
have to draw them yourself.
Yeah,
right?
if the movie is very famous, then you can simply find the templates. But if it is not, then sometimes what I do is I do my own sketches, and then I make my own templates.
Okay. Okay, then definitely I'm not going to be able to do this because I cannot draw to save my soul. Really bad. But so
But then again, now if you can't draw it, then what you can simply do is if you can find a photograph of the weapon or whatever you are going to make, and then again you have to find the exact measurement of the prop. So if you can find those two, then you can scale the photo into the measurement.
Smart. So
And,
now I don't have to know how to draw to do this. That is excellent. That works for me. It's perfect. Okay. And the other thing that, like how you were saying about how like painting like hides a number of sins and stuff like that. Again, like what kind of paint would you use? Like I
So
know.
now I normally use acrylic paints, because actually in other countries they have very specific paint types when it comes to props. But in
Yeah.
Sri Lanka it's not available. So I normally use most of the time I use acrylics. So it's just a matter of how you match the colors, how you compose and mix the colors, and you can actually simply get the whatever the color you want to get to make it look more like now if you look at this shield,
Yeah.
it looks more kind of like
Mottled and
old, and
like
it has
old, yeah.
scratches that you have used the shield in several battles and all. So all of that look has been achieved by the paint job, the way you paint
Okay.
it, the way you
So again, that's another skill on top of learning how to like craft stuff. You have to learn how to mix paint.
yeah, even though you
Okay,
messed up
so
making
this is
the
not easy.
Yeah.
Unless you're really artistic, it's not easy. Okay. So final question is like, would you have any advice for like people who want to start out doing their own cosplay, like prop designs and stuff like that? Anything that you could like tell them?
Yeah,
any
actually,
advice?
what I have to say is you have to have faith in yourself and just go for it. Just don't think about negative thoughts. You don't have to have all the equipments or expensive materials and all. And also, it doesn't have to be perfect. Actually, you can start simple.
And I guess the first couple of tries are going to be awful,
Yeah,
but you
yeah.
just keep going
Yeah.
till
But
you perfect
if you
it,
keep
right?
doing it, you will definitely improve yourself.
Okay, practice makes perfect. So get started. And thank you very much for being on our show, Aishwarya. And for all those people listening in, if you are thinking of getting any cosplay props done, this is the guy to go to. You can like take a number because I'm sure you already have lots of people queuing up for props, right? So yeah, so if you're lucky, he might have space for you in the line as well. So thank you very much, and stay tuned for our next segment, which will be coming up shortly on other aspects of cosplay.
Due to security concerns, tickets will be limited this year. Sign up to get notified when they go on sale. Once they are sold out, that's it. Visit www.lankacomiccon.lk/get-notified.